Hey, what's going on guys? Shane here. And today we're talking about how to practice defense even on the heavy bag. I've said it in the past, I feel like the heavy bag tends to create some bad habits because we get addicted to that loud smack and then we start to focus on just power. We plant our feet, we stop moving our head, our hands start to drop. If you do that in a real fight, you're gonna get lit up. So let's talk about how you can incorporate your defense even on the heavy bag. Alright, on the topic of defense, we're going to break it down into 3 different concepts, and then I'm going to share a fun drill with you that you can do on the heavy bag that's great for working defense. So the first thing is footwork and angles. Before we even get into punching range, before we even get into the fight, we're going to be on the outside moving our feet. I better not just stand still or walk straight in to punching range and turn into a rock'em sock'em robot fight. I'm going to get killed. Alright, so if I'm on the outside, I'm moving my feet, I'm moving my head, so I'm a moving target and harder for them to hit, and I'm coming in at different angles, making it harder for them to defend. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right off the bat. What I like about swinging heavy bags is it can tell me where to go, right? If I stay still and it swings, boom, it's gonna hit me. So I need to move my feet, I need to play Toro with the bull. You can do this on a freestanding heavy bag too, one that has a base at the bottom. You just move around it, right? So you're constantly moving your feet, you're looking for the different openings, your head is constantly moving off the center line. Now, you can also do this at inside range too, right? So I'm doing this from the outside, but let's say we do get on the inside, now I can start moving my feet here. I can start clinching and moving the bag and pushing it in different directions so that when I'm working the body or the head, clinching, moving underneath, constantly moving my feet. So it's not just on the outside that I'm looking to find the angle. It's also when I'm on the inside, I'm still trying to get to their backside or just get a more dominant angle so that I can land more shots. All right, the next one is counters. Now, when I'm on the heavy bag, I usually start, like I said, just outside of punch range. And if I'm not just gonna create an angle and sort of dart in with a shot, then I'm gonna counter my way in. So if we're out here, we're probably at jabbing range, right? And they're gonna be throwing those jabs. So right off the bat, I'm working my parry, I'm working my catch, and I'm stopping that punch from coming in. So when I get on the heavy bag, I'm usually doing this. I'm now working my footwork and my angles, and I'm imagining that they're throwing punches with the jab, and I'm just catching that shot, right? If they start to throw the right hand now I'm parrying with both hands. Boom, 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 boom. I also have pillar, where I'm blocking with the forearms. I also have the helmet guard, which is more of like a power shot. If they're throwing overhands, throwing left hooks, I'm going here. All right, so now I'm working all of those. My parries, my catches, my pillars, and my helmet guard as I'm moving my feet. Now, I'm not just defending, I also want to counter. So let's say they throw the jab and I catch, I'm going to throw a jab back of my own. Boom. Now I stepped in, now I finally made contact with the bag. Parry, step in. I can also parry, come over top of the right hand. Parry, skip the rock and right over top. I can parry their cross, and I can throw across. Parry and cross. Or I can parry and step in with the jab over top. Boom. Boom. Okay? Now this is outside fighting. I can also do this on the inside, just like we did with our footwork, we can do this with counters. So maybe I'm in a little bit tighter and I throw cross hook. Now I'm gonna block, right? I'm in tight, so they're probably gonna throw a hook back. I'm gonna block and I'm gonna counter again. So 1, 2, 3, block, hook, cross, and again, I start to move my angles. So now I'm incorporating my defense, my counters, and my angles and my footwork too. 1, 2, 3, block, boom, boom, move. 1, 2, 3, block, parry, catch, clinch, step and move my head, whatever it may be, counter, and then we're gonna incorporate the last part, which is having an exit strategy. You always hear me use the phrase exit strategy when I'm talking to my fighters. And what that means is after you throw a combination, you have to have some sort of exit plan. Because for instance, if I were to throw a jab cross hook and just wait here, I can do that on a heavy bag because it's not hitting me back, but if I do that in a fight, boom, I'm gonna get countered. Because what did we just talk about? After you throw your shots, you block and then you counter. That's what a fighter is gonna do. So we have to do some sort of defense or exit plan. Let's give you a couple different options. I throw the jab cross hook. From here, we can create the angle like we talked about with footwork. So I move my head by sitting down and stepping out to my left. Boom, okay? I threw the left hook, then I'll step out to the left. I can throw a 1, 2, I finish with the right hand, I can sit down and step to my right. Whatever punch I finish with, I can move in that direction. It's a good rule of thumb. Not always, but that's something that you can start to practice. I can defend, right? Jab, cross, hook, block, boom, boom. But even still, what do I do here? I block again, I punch again, there's no exit. So what I like doing is, if I want to step in, I can clinch up. So I go 1, 2, 3, boom. Get the clinch. If it's Muay Thai, I can work elbows, knees. If it's MMA, I can go for the takedown. If it's boxing, I can still clinch up, right? I want to get my hands on the inside. I want to get the tricep, bicep control, pull them in tight so they can't hit me with those rabbit punches, and I wait for the ref to break it up. And then another one is just sitting down and stepping back or jabbing out. So I throw the 1, 2, 3. I can sit down and back, right? Get underneath of shots and create some distance, or I can stick my jab out there as I step back. Stay away, right? Just a stay away punch. So always have some form of exit strategy after you throw your combos. Okay, now I'm gonna share a drill to tie all of this together. I call it the defend and counter drill. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw a combination, and then whatever we finish with, we're gonna imagine that our opponent counters with that exact same shot. So let's talk about the combo that we've been using, jab, cross, left hook. I finished with the left hook, so now I'm gonna imagine that a left hook comes in. How can we defend against that? We talked about the helmet guard. So I block, and then I counter with the left hook, cross. Now I finished with the right hand, so they're gonna throw a right hand. Now I'm going to parry, like we talked about, create a little bit of an angle, and I'm gonna go cross, left hook to the body. Finish with the left hook to the body, so they throw one, I block with my elbow, and I counter, uppercut, hook, jab. I finish with the jab, so now they throw a jab, and I'm going to slip, create an angle, uppercut, hook, cross. And then from there, you would just keep going. So it makes the brain work because you're constantly thinking, and then it gets your defense super tight because you start to visualize, you start to imagine those shots coming in, and then you can work your angles and your footwork, you can work your blocks and your counters, and then you can work your exit strategy. So give that one a try. All right, guys, there you have it. Your training has to be sport specific. It has to be realistic. Just like you would in a fight, after you throw your shots, you gotta create an angle. You gotta move your feet, or you gotta clinch up. You gotta have some sort of exit. If you're on the outside, then you're parrying, you're blocking, you're countering, you're moving your head off the center line. So, like I said, the more that you can visualize your opponent, the better imagination that you have, the more realistic your training is going to be. So give it a try the next time you hop on the heavy bag. But until then, be sure to subscribe to get the fight tips before your opponent does. I'm Shane with Fight Tips for the underdogs.